Hey, and welcome to another Geek Out commentary. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake.
And we're continuing our countdown for the latest Bond film, Spectre, by watching what some would argue is the greatest Roger Moore Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me.
I mean, I'd hope that it would be the greatest Roger Moore since we're only watching one of his.
Yeah, we only get to pick one. And it's like, well, are we going to pick The Man with the Golden Gun? Are we going
Thunderball.
Octopussy?
Yeah.
I did say a Roger Moore one, right?
No.
It's a Sean
I just
Connery
let it
one.
slide.
Yeah.
Really? Damn.
But
Moonraker. Moonraker.
That's
is what I
there you
meant.
go.
That's the one
There
I
it
meant.
is.
Sorry.
Yeah, but Jake, would you say this is one of your favorites?
This is definitely my favorite Roger Moore Bond film and in my top 5 of Bond films of all time.
It's the film that saved the franchise.
Yeah.
Because the last Bond film, The Man with the Golden Gun, was the weakest performing. They lost one of their producers. He had to sell his stake because of some bad investments. They were wondering if Bond was still going to be relevant in the 70s. And
Which,
then,
if I remember, was what George Lazenby was worried about.
yeah, George Lazenby was almost right.
And then this movie came along and smashed his dreams.
Yeah, and they faced some legal trouble because they originally wanted to use Spectre as the bad guys. And then Kevin McClory, who had the rights to Spectre, was like, yeah, you can't use those guys anymore. And they were like, fuck, are we done? Or have we finished? Have we played out? And then they did this movie, and it just blew everybody away.
Yeah. And my favorite Bond car, my favorite Bond theme, both in this movie.
So without much further ado, Chris, set us up.
Alrighty. So, as with all the other Bonds, this is from the 50th anniversary box set. There's nothing that you should be worried about with special editions or anything like that. So you should be good at watching it, whatever medium you are using. So as per usual, we have it queued up. The movie's ready to go. All the counter is at 0. So make sure you have that ready to go. And then I will be giving you a countdown and telling you to hit play. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And for once, I didn't have to yawn or burp the entire time I was saying that.
Yay.
Thank you, MGM Lion.
Even after drinking hot chocolate.
I know, right? Usually the touch of death.
Hot chocolate's lethal kiss. Oh, man.
I've even though I've never been a huge Bond person, I've always enjoyed this little scene here.
Oh, yeah.
And
Steady hands more.
Roger Moore's the only one to use 2 hands.
Also the only one to do commentary in every single one of his movies.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which is available on the 50th anniversary Blu-ray.
That's right.
Yeah. Not featured here.
Yeah.
No, he's not doing it with us today. I wish he was.
Yeah, God. Maybe one of these days. Born the same year as my grandfather, which is always weird because it means, if you swap them out, it's like my grandfather hooking up with all these chicks. It's just weird. Just both born in 1927.
No, that's almost the same year that my grandfather was born. Yeah. All right, boobs.
Is he a little old? Yeah, there they are. That dude's probably looking at them, too. Yeah. But was he before or after?
Yeah, he's a little bit older. He was beginning of the 20s.
Okay.
Suck my battleship.
This is basically the same plot as You Only Live Twice.
Yeah.
Where
It's
in You
just-
Only Live Twice, they steal an American and a Soviet spacecraft to start a war between the Soviet Union and the United States. In this one, they steal a British, American, and Soviet sub to start a war between NATO and the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
It was directed by the same guy that directed the You Only Live Twice, Lewis
Ah.
Gilbert.
Yeah. It's also a much better movie.
Yeah. No, Bond doesn't undergo a procedure to look Japanese and still look like a 6'2" Scottish man.
Yeah.
Or George Lazenby.
Yeah, or a 6'2" Australian. Speaking of Lazenby, that's the guy that Lazenby impersonates in On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Oh. Didn't recognize him without his glasses.
Or George Lazenby using his voice.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, that actually is George Lazenby.
Yeah. The years have not been kind.
It was all that hippie beard. Is there not a cord on that phone?
No, I see. It's black.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
blending in with his.
Yeah.
Okay. I see a red phone and I assume red cord, just like the phone that we just saw. But yeah, okay. Now I see it clearly.
They do it different in Soviet Russia.
That's right.
You'd think that they would be all about the red.
Red State. Man, those are some hairy shoulders.
You got a problem with hairy shoulders?
I'm just saying, those are hairy shoulders. And he kind of looks like Adam West.
He does.
Apparently Adam West was up for Bond.
Yeah.
He turned it down because he felt it should be played by a British actor. And then he got replaced by an Australian.
That would have been... I was actually just thinking, like, when you reminded me that George Lazenby was Australian earlier, when when we were talking about George Lazenby, I was like, if it could be Australian and he could be Scottish, why can't he be American?
They thought about it.
This is a great scene
And
where
they
you
thought again.
you think you know who Agent XXX is.
Vin Diesel?
No.
I did see that film in theaters, though.
So did I.
You think it's the dude, but it ain't the dude.
It's Ringo Starr's future wife.
That's right.
M still a man.
Moneypenny Stole a Woman.
Ooh.
I never got that as a kid.
Me neither.
My dad was the one who pointed that out. He's like, "Don't you get it?" And I was like, "Yeah." He left, and he's like, "No, never mind."
Is that the cameraman shadow on his elbow? That's pretty neat.
Roger Moore was always the best at giving the quips. I feel like he's most comfortable giving the...
They certainly increased when he took over the role.
Yep.
Does that mean he's freeballing his ski
yeah.
suit?
It's got to be.
I mean, don't you?
I mean, I freeball in general.
I mean, you're assuming that he wasn't wearing underwear when he was with her.
Yeah, I haven't had sex with underwear on yet.
We're about to get what some people consider... Oh, here we go. Like Bill Conti.
Give me that. Bill Conti does For Your Eyes Only.
I know, but it sounds very Bill Conti.
Yeah. Either way, it's like Disco Bond
Well,
with evil Adam West.
but we're about to get what some people consider to be dangerous. That the stuntman who did it, they said his look on his face before and after was just his face was green, because basically you can't fail and survive this.
You can see
Yeah,
the ski hit.
yeah. What they were afraid was that the ski was going to fall and puncture the parachute. Now the ski does fall and it hits the parachute, but luckily it hits it flat and it doesn't puncture it, or else that would have been all she wrote. So this still, for me, is one of the coolest stunts that has ever happened in a Bond movie.
I'm already feeling like this is a cooler ski chase than
On Her Majesty?
Yeah. Just going through that little tunnel alcove thing that they had.
And the camera kind of following him.
Yeah.
And of course that disco beat.
Yeah. And this little fuck
Ooh.
yourself.
Fuck you, Adam West.
Oh, I'm on fire now. Skiing backwards.
Man, this is insane.
Yeah, I can't fake this 1977, kids.
Nope.
Or at least not as easily.
And it's not a dummy.
This time. Next time, Gadget. Next time.
Oh, wow. Pretty ballsy.
He's freeballing.
I like how the music just cut out, too. Oh,
I wonder what country did this. Yeah.
Thinking France.
It is the same as the Australian flag, too.
Hell of an opening, man.
Yeah, Lazenby claimed he came up with the idea because that's how he wanted the On Her Majesty's Secret Service chase to end. I haven't seen the
Exactly.
This is your favorite Bond theme?
Yes, sir. It's also the first one not to have the title be the theme. I mean, the name of the song.
Yeah.
Save for an instrumental.
Well, they do They do quote it.
Yeah, they say they do mention the Spy Who Loved Me in it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, Her Majesty was an instrumental.
Yeah.
So it technically didn't have the title in it either.
No. It's called.
It's called. Yeah.
On Her
the
Majesty's
song is
Secret
called.
Service.
Yeah, this song's called "Nobody Does It Better."
Well, you do it better.
Thanks.
Roger Moore's just like, yeah. And then it cuts to silhouettes. How awkward is it to, like, film this?
Yeah.
Just like Roger Moore having to, even like the women are like, I just have to hold this gun seductively and twirl. I mean, she's like holding that gun like she means it. Man.
Roger Moore, man, if you think about it, he had, I think, pound for pound, the best themes.
He also had the theme to The Man with the Golden Gun.
Yeah. But he had, For Your Eyes Only. He had A View to a Kill. He had Live and Let Die. I think those outweigh that.
All Time High, as featured in the movie Ted.
Yeah. Great song.
Sung by Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah. That's so great. This is the part that always stuck with me the most in this opening sequence. Where he's like, all right. And then she's kind of standing like, yeah.
It's like he's used to this shit.
Now, for like the costume call and like the whatever for this shot, they're like, all right, we need a gun, a hat, and a nude woman. Run. There's an extended version on the soundtrack.
Nominated for an Academy Award, but it didn't win, I believe.
No, unfortunately, no.
Wasn't until Skyfall.
Just waiting for that song to end.
I mean, Walter Gotell, of course, showed up in For Your Eyes Only as the Spectre trainer.
Mm-hmm.
They liked him so much they brought him back as the head of the KGB. Listen, all you all sabotage.
It's a lot more forgiving than I imagined the KGB actually was.
This guy.
Gotta love when he's in his uniform, man.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of it in this one.
Yeah, I think more than any other now that I think about
He
it.
has a uniform?
He's Commander Bond. It's his rank.
Ah.
He's still technically part of the...
Royal Navy.
yeah.
Okay.
Which is
Every time I saw Pierce Brosnan in like a get up like this, I thought he was just like wearing a costume.
Disguise.
Yeah.
They don't bring it into the films until like You Only Live Twice.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which is, kind of
Which is
where
like
this one
the-
comes
yeah.
from.
The fifth Bond film, yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
One
like
of the many that I
most
haven't
of the
seen.
most of the end, I believe he's in his uniform too.
Yeah. Hargreaves later becomes M. It's kind of speculated that they didn't he gets promoted to become M after Bernard Lee died.
What a what a lackluster security protocol that lights up after you press the buttons.
Yeah. It's like basically like a. It opens up and it's like Simon from the '80s, and it's just like.
Yeah.
Doot, doot, doot.
There's a moment in is it For Your Eyes Only? Or no, Moonraker, I'm sorry. When they're going the Q branch and they're hitting the keypad and the tone on the keypad is nobody does, and then Bond finishes it better. So it's the
The little musical notes, yeah.
matches perfectly.
It's a line.
Bond just put it there. Seems like a very,
I do it all the time.
very comfortable jacket and vest there, Q.
Really likes the tweed.
Yeah.
Roger Moore's 50 when this movie comes out, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Comparatively speaking, my father is 58 and looks nothing like Roger Moore.
Well, that's
Yeah, I mean,
because
Roger-
Roger Moore doesn't have a big mustache.
Yeah.
Roger Moore was fairly, old when he started.
He was older than Sean Connery. I always kind of was like, why would you hire somebody older? But I think they wanted a more established star because they're like, we tried an unknown with Lazenby.
We tried a chocolate commercial guy.
Yeah. And he was the Saint, was big time.
Oh, was Roger Moore the Saint?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I keep meaning to watch that show because I like the movie so much, and I was like, I want to see how this show was.
At the end of the film, when they're listening to the car radio,
Mm-hmm.
it's Roger Moore's voice.
Oh.
These guys look so happy, like they don't know it's like, they're just like, oh, this guy's cool, right?
But we just got here.
Would you pass the salt?
Excuse me?
There it is.
Batman 89.
There it is. We got it in.
And so did James Bond.
Always does.
Do you prefer crab or lobster?
Lobster.
Lobster.
Really? I've
Yeah.
never liked lobster.
No?
I like
Mm.
crab a lot.
Yeah. Then you must love Maryland.
It's not bad.
Do you like crab cakes?
I love crab cakes.
I don't like crab cakes.
Oh.
I enjoy crab cakes.
Do you like lobster sandwiches?
I like a lobster bisque.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I like lobster, like, pull it out of the exoskeleton.
Yeah.
Lobster.
Lobster tail, lobster claw.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you call that preparation style.
Mm-hmm. Crack it in, flap it in, slap it in lobster.
That's actually exactly what I call it.
There you go. Oh.
Apparently, all the underwater sequences were filmed in the Bahamas, despite the fact that none of this movie takes place in the Bahamas.
I really wanted to jump in and say underwater when you were like, apparently all the underwater sequences were filmed. And you paused, but just like a half second too short of a pause for me to jump in and be like, underwater?
Under pressure.
Yeah. It's prime time not having a good time face. Tiger Shark.
You know, they could have taken a lesson from Jaws and not shown the shark just kind of bumping into the girl.
Yeah.
I like tiger sharks. Probably
You're
my
just like,
favorite kind of shark.
What the fuck did we just do business with?
Let's get the fuck,
Fuck
out of here. Run, but don't look like you're running.
Just walk casual.
Yeah.
Do you have stairs?
Yeah.
Is there a stair? God damn it.
It's a look.
Remember, you don't have to outswim the shark. Just outswim the other guy.
I always thought this his lair looked like the the Hall of Doom.
Oh yeah, totally. But I had that classical type music for the bad guy. Because he's sophisticated. He's evil, but he's sophisticated.
Yeah, I feel like they took a lot of that from, like, I don't know, Goldfinger kind of has that going on.
Mm-hmm. This motherfucker. And then we're about to get one of this movie has like a lot of my favorites of Bond. This is my favorite villain.
Apparently that was, like, really painful for him. So he would only keep it in for...
Yeah, a certain amount of time, like
Yeah.
a very small amount of time, like
Yeah.
a matter of minutes.
Yeah. They were available, like, you could see them at the International Spy Museum.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had a Bond villain exhibit
Cool.
right around the time that Skyfall came out. I don't know if it's still there, though.
Unfortunately, we did recently just lose the actor who played Jaws. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Apparently he was good friends with Roger Moore thanks
Yeah.
to this film. And
Roger Moore had a really nice kind of send off for him. He did a radio interview, and he talked about him.
He was also in a fan favorite episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000 called Ega, where he played Ega.
Hmm.
I mean, that's one way to save your money.
Lawrence of Arabia, Roger Moore.
So much so that they play the Lawrence of Arabia theme.
Like later, but yeah.
When I was a kid, I saw this movie before I saw Lawrence of Arabia.
Authority and stuff. Roger Moore's the playboy. Timothy Dalton's kind of this, like, almost cold-hearted. What would that be? Like the assassin?
The assassin.
Yeah.
Or he's almost more the loner.
Yeah, then how would you describe Lazenby?
That's what I was trying to think.
The nervous Nelly.
I wouldn't say because he's the only one to get married, which is a huge part of it.
Yeah, so maybe not loner.
So
The lover?
that's I was gonna say maybe the lover, but that makes I don't want him to sound like he's like a wuss, because like he kicks a lot of ass in that movie. But I would say the lover, because I mean he is the one to finally tie the knot. And the playboy, the loner, what's Brosnan? The Brosnan. He's the
The
Brosnan.
Brosnan.
Yeah. And then Craig.
To be fair, he is the Brosnan.
Well, he is, yeah.
Craig's the killer.
The killer. Good one. Yeah.
Different, yeah.
Almost takes glee in it.
Yeah. He sometimes almost goes out of his way. He's like,
Yeah.
just to be sure. Have I banged enough prostitutes today? No.
Internal thoughts of Roger Moore.
Balls deeply.
Alfred Hitchcock's James Bond. Just skip down these stairs like a boss. Not anymore. Just that one final one. No.
I'm watching you, Roger
Hungry
Moore.
eyes. I do enjoy this fight scene, even though it's kind of super dated.
I like the way it ends.
The way it ends is the call. They do that. They have a callback to that in Quantum of Solace,
Yeah.
and it's one of my favorite Roger Moore kills.
Yeah.
he always gets credited for being kind of not like a softie, but like not like they wouldn't you wouldn't suggest badass as much with his.
Badass
Especially
is not the first thing that comes to mind.
no,
either,
especially when you
but-
have like it's Lazenby kicks plenty of ass in before this,
yeah,
and
with
then
super uppercuts.
yeah, and he was actually like a trained fighter. And then Connery's is just more of the brute kind of guy, and then Dalton after this is more of an assassin, but Moore has his more kind of ruthless type kills, and
He only has a handful.
yeah, and there's one coming up. And Moore is one of those Bonds that I feel like I put his movies on more than any other Bond, just because I could just have them on in the background when I'm doing stuff.
Bond movies are great background noise
They are,
for me. Yeah.
and Roger Moore's are so much fun. I really enjoy Roger Moore's. Even the ones that are less than stellar.
I feel like after starting with this one, they started to have more fun with it.
Yeah. Maybe it's because they knew that they were getting their mojo back.
Yeah, they're throwing in more puns. They're kind of almost winking at the camera.
Yeah.
This is what James Bond does. He
Yeah.
bangs women and kills people. Drives cool cars.
Yeah, he does.
They kind of figured out what they were,
Yeah,
which is a huge selling point for all three of us.
Yeah, the formula was established.
Yeah.
Much like the Connery one in the third of his franchise, Goldfinger kind of got it right for them, and
Yeah.
Spy Who Loved Me gets it right for Roger Moore.
Yeah. Whereas with Brosnan, it's a law of diminishing returns.
Yeah, unfortunately.
They knew what they were right away, and then they kind of forgot.
Now, does he spin her into the bullet? Like
Kind of. I mean, that's ruthless kill number 1 in this scene.
like he doesn't dodge or anything. He's just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it looked like she spun,
Oh, okay.
but I have no
He did
idea
it,
why
have
she
his,
would.
His arms like wrapped around
Yeah.
her and kind of then
Yeah, but
tossed her on the bed.
I could, yeah,
he
I
wasn't
could,
necessarily concerned with her.
I could accept the argument that he turned her.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I
He's
like-
not doing very well.
I like how it almost looks like he's gonna be like an odd job equivalent, but he's just kind of bigger, but they're almost equal matches in the sense of like their skill level.
Yeah.
It's not like Sean Connery going up against a brick wall as it was with Odd Job.
Yeah. If anything, like Moore kind of takes the lead from
Yeah.
the beginning anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely a more centric fight. Like he has the lead more often than not so far.
Here it is.
Oh. How is Moore not getting dragged down? He's way too heavy.
Superior back. That British stiff upper.
I have very good balance.
It's so badass.
He
Just smacks his tie away.
This is an expensive tie. Ooh.
Hi there.
Bond late as usual.
It's the first time I've heard it pronounced that way.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard it pronounced like other than like that outside of this film.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen plenty of Egyptian things on like the History Channel and whatnot. It's always Giza.
Is that Frank Zappa?
Yeah. Don't eat the yellow snow. What if you're at some kind of thing and Roger Moore just sits down next to you, staring at you? Seriously, you're gonna marry Ringo for a long time.
I know.
They're still married. Props.
They met, or yeah, I feel like he saw her in this and was like, "I need her to
Yeah.
be my co-star in Caveman."
He's as big as one of the.
Oh shit!
Apparently he is because Frank Zappa just saw him.
No, you heard the synth.
Excuse me, Roger Moore.
Touch my shoulder. Roger Moore also still looks really good for his age.
Yeah.
Now I'm over here.
Unfortunately, Jaws suffers from the same thing that all of us tall men suffer from, and just not being able to get a suit that doesn't look goofy for being so long. At least that's how I feel whenever I wear a suit. It's got to be so custom tailored that it just looks weird.
Kind of looks like a lab coat.
Yeah. He looks like the giant doctor from Scrubs.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that would imply that he also has a really strong jaw muscle.
He's superhuman.
Yeah.
He's kind of we were making the Odd Job comparison earlier you were talking about the bald guy Shandor, and he's got super strength in addition to his gigantic.
Oh, you'll see in this movie. There's a couple times he should be dead.
Yeah, like many times over.
Yeah.
And apparently he's a vampire. Or he's just lonely, wants a kiss. I mean, I've also only ever heard that pronounced dynasty.
I've heard dynasty before, mainly from like Europeans, and it's like, okay, if that's what you want to go with.
I mean, touche. I've also heard Neanderthal, so.
Oh yeah, they can't do the TH.
For a hot minute, I thought that was the correct pronunciation, and then I was like, no, they just don't know how to go th.
Yeah. Another big European thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't do that. You're going to burn the paper.
On the bottom it said Slayer rules.
That's how Ringo Starr was like, oh.
Yeah. I must marry her.
Look at her in front of the stones. She'd be great in a caveman movie.
Is this the most like fighting that Roger Moore does?
Totally. Well, also, there's a stunt that he does later on that pretty much turned him off from ever doing stunts again.
In this film?
Yeah.
The guy does kind of the mummy thing, like when he gets kicked in the stomach.
I just beat up 3 men. Fuck you.
Credits.
Yeah. Yes.
Best Bond movie ever.
There it is. Classic Bond look.
Yeah, see, when I think Bond uniform, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. You ain't shit till you put on that.
Yeah. Either that or the white jacket.
Yeah. I mean, this is clearly the more famous, but, the white one, sometimes when it shows up, although it's more of a Connery thing, I feel like.
Well, Moore does it in Octopussy.
Yeah. I think Barbara Bach's also one of the best Bond. I guess you could call her Bond girls, but she is like a freaking spy as well.
Yeah,
like not
certainly one of the most capable.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, the next film, the Bond girl is a scientist.
Mm-hmm. One of them also gets eaten by dogs.
God damn it, I wanted to order it.
It's the second time this film that somebody's ordered, because the Egyptian guy like that at that tent never gets to order it.
Barbara Bach orders more of the famous Bond drink than Roger Moore ever does. There you go.
Comments like that is why it's all the same. Like, I've heard the theory that Bond is multiple characters. And the big plot point, at least in terms of classic Bond, is the lost wife.
That's right. and then they reference it. My favorite time they reference it is in License to Kill.
For Your Eyes Only is probably because it's so explicit.
Yeah.
They even have "We Have All the Time in the World" like on her tombstone.
Mm-hmm. That bow tie looks like one of the ones like you pull and it spins around.
Yeah.
Zoo!
It even sounds like a Slayer song. For cash about it. Nah.
Keep it going, Chris.
I was really proud of that terrible joke.
I have heard the story.
I do fucking do it. Oh, the thug you call in my kingdom.
Apparently, she was cast like 4 days before principal
Really?
photography started. Yeah.
Was she much of a big time star before this movie?
No.
Okay.
No.
It was pretty much this movie. I mean, being in a Bond movie will launch you into stardom.
Yeah.
So
He puts his finger in his jacket, pulls out his middle finger.
yeah. What of it? Fuck face. I shaved half my beard and then got tired.
I shaved from the top down.
That's right. It's either a shitty beard or an awesome goatee. I don't know. Go with shitty beard. And for that, you will pay the price. Just see the penguin's hands come out. Oh, but you have. Oh, but you will.
Nobody can scream when they see Jaws. They're just like, oh.
It's like the guy in First Blood Part 2 who gets pulled in by the weeds. He could clearly scream and ruin the ambush, but lost his voice that day.
Roger Moore's just over this shit.
One of Roger Moore's things when he was first taking on the role was he knew that, you know, you had to come up with your own kind of interpretation of the character. And one of the things that he grasped was Bond has to be the worst spy of all time because he can walk into a bar and someone else knows his drink, his name, everything about him. And so he has to play this kind of tongue-in-cheek approach to it. Like this.
Get away, get away.
Did you ever see when him and Connery were on stage together presenting an award? And they kind of had a Bond off.
When was it?
He was still Bond. Actually, I don't know if Roger Moore was still Bond. But it's funny, they both kind of have this moment together, and then they ask, "Who are you?" to Roger Moore, and Roger Moore is like, "Well, I'm Bond, James Bond," and Connery's kind of standing there because I think they were friends. In real life.
I mean, he even dedicates his first. Because Roger Moore's so old, he has 2 autobiographies. His first autobiography he dedicates to Sean Connery.
Yeah. They got to get them all together on one photo, man. I don't know what the fuck they're waiting for.
Whoa.
He's just that smirk like, please,
Yeah.
please. Just that guy that's always like,
Yeah. Super confident Bond. Score.
First base. Second base.
Life of a spy, man.
the if you ever played GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64, the final level, like the second bonus level, Egyptian, is based on this temple design.
Oh, and there's the Washington Monument. It's like the scorpion fight scene in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Chop your head off.
Almost karate chopped you right in your pretty face.
Got Barbara Bocked.
You think I'm pretty?
Now I'm here.
Okay, David Bowie.
Yoo-hoo. You.
We got a super shredder thing about to happen.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There. It's like the cover for The Living Daylights. That's the last we ever see of Jaws.
Ever. Damn, I don't know how to drive.
Too slow.
That's what you get when you ride with more.
Imagine going on a cross-country trip with all the Bond actors.
And never getting a picture.
Oh my God! Imagine if you had like you were at like we talk.
Yeah.
If you're at like one of the award ceremonies, going table to table, and you get a selfie with all the Bond.
That'd be so cool.
Oh, that'd be the coolest.
That's what he always says to the ladies.
Dubstep.
Backseat driver.
Side seat driver. Okay, so speaking of superhuman strength and shit.
I feel like a lot of that was improv from Roger Moore.
Fuck, she does puns too.
This is the best. He just like wrecked a car, survived basically 3 deaths in that scene, and then drops a giant brick on his foot.
That's how I live my life.
It's like a Monty Python thing. I always find like wobbly wheels on cars kind of funny. He was what, like 15 years old at this point?
Yep.
Still one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, hands down.
So imagine my surprise when I see Lawrence of Arabia after this movie.
It's just something like Roger Moore just going out of his way. It's like, oh, you're asleep. I'm going to sit next to you and watch.
I killed the love of your life.
Shared bodily fluids, more like it.
Roger Moore's not pleased. He's just like, fuck this. It makes me wonder if M and Q follow all the other double O agents. Where's 007 the only one that gets like that preferential treatment?
I mean, 006, 005,
Yeah, they always
004.
die or become traitors.
Yeah.
It's weird that, my understanding is the lower your number, the better you are, right? Or
it's never explicitly stated.
oh, okay.
No.
So it is kind of an odd number to choose, like, for the main character to just be 007.
Yeah.
Yeah. First try. Huh?
Just smug KGB face.
Yeah.
Hey.
Welcome to hell, bitch.
Is he still going to be there? Oh, there he is.
Yeah. M. Watch this. I'm going to sneak up on him. Wonder what her favorite Beatles song is.
Don't pass me by.
Probably. It's probably the longest we've ever seen a Bond in the same outfit.
Well, especially compared to Lazenby, who has like all the costume
Oh
changes.
yeah, we stopped counting after a while.
Mhm.
It's like 7. I think we stopped counting 7 or 8.
The hover surf or
This is one of the. You'd have to like really set this thing up to have it work. Unfortunately, we never see it. Never see it in action. It's like 10 minutes. I'm just fighting over that. That's the thing they do on ridiculousness now.
It sprays black paint.
Doing shadow puppets. Bond's like, I don't know who that is. Now, when you first hear the title, "The Spy Who Loved Me," do you think it's Triple X, or
I mean, she's in the song she refers to Bond being the spy who loves her.
Yeah.
And it's always, and then at the end of the film, Stromberg's like, "Oh, Russian, you've fallen in love with a Russian." Yeah.
Until the next movie. A lot of key moments on trains and Bond movies.
I mean, this one's also the Orient Express, just like From Russia with Love. Regarded as the sorry about that. This is regarded as the some would regard it as the high point of Connery's tenure.
Yeah, that's a great scene, a great fight scene. Well, you know, he's and also Moore has a great fight scene on a train in Live and Let Die.
Yeah, at the end. I always wanted to use that line on like a company trip, but all the business trips I've ever been on, I've been alone. So I'm like,
say it to yourself.
yeah, I'm sitting there like alone at the bar with like the expense card, just like, I'm gonna have a drink on the company. My company?
And then you sob.
It's like just my scotch and just it tastes good.
Yeah. Start laughing hysterically and then sobbing hysterically and then just becomes a mix of both.
Yeah.
That's
like
better.
Sam Neill at the end of Prince of Darkness.
Or was it Will Ferrell and Anchorman?
Yeah. We could totally bang. But no. I've been sitting here waiting for 2 hours. I guess she's not coming.
Oh, hey, I can see through. Oh.
He almost looks bored there. He's
Yeah.
just kind of like, oh, sorry, I've been here for like 2
How-
days.
She was doing better in that fight against him than Bond was.
Yeah. She's just
For-
highly
For
trained.
those 2 hits. Up the butt. Oh.
My testicles.
Yeah. My little moles. I love you.
I'm not actually going to use this. I just want to show
Yeah.
you that I could.
Just to spite you.
This is what I think of your little nightstand.
Moore's like, no. No.
Give him the chair.
No, there you go.
Was it an electric fence that he flew through?
He explodes when he hits the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
And yet survives.
That was weird.
Well, anyway, back to the office. Wah, wah.
But for now, we bang.
Yeah. This is
Statistically, it's the safest. Oh, wait.
It's only the third time this has happened to me. Skyfall has got quite the train experience. Turns into a Lethal Weapon movie. the best.
Because of this movie, it was so popular that the waiting list was over 2 years to get one.
I don't know why. I just love this car so much. I remember in was it the which James Bond video game? I have like almost all of them. You could be the Lotus or the submarine Lotus.
Might have been like Nightfire or
Yeah,
everything.
it was
or
one of
nothing or
those.
something.
I don't think it was Rogue Agent.
What did you think of Rogue Agent?
I never actually got to beat it because my copy always froze after one of the levels, so I was never able to beat it. It was, I mean, interesting. You know, it's
A cheap GoldenEye,
Yeah.
like based on name value only.
yeah, but you know, I get a lot of the Bond games names mixed up, but I think one of the all-time great Bond games is the Everything or Nothing,
Pierce Brosnan's last appearance, 007.
which is basically his last Bond movie. I mean, it's all an original story. You get an original theme. You get Willem Dafoe's in it.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah, it's a third-person Bond.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is interesting. It's
his voice, his likeness.
Yeah,
He
it's
does
a
the motion capture.
very frustrating at times, but a really great Bond game.
Yeah, Jaws shows up.
Yeah.
She, the receptionist, shows up in Never Say Never Again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you ever know?
Oh. Yeah, she gets she meets Sean. She gets to know Sean Connery in the biblical sense in the Bahamas.
Mm.
She gets taken down by Christopher Lee hard in Dracula 1972 AD, Carolyn Monroe. She's
It's-
also Dr. Vincent Price's wife in The Abominable Dr. Phibes.
Oh, really? She gets taken out hard by Roger Moore in this movie.
What notion is that? I didn't know they were so committed to the job, those marine biologists.
Yeah.
Never on holiday.
Ask Jen. That's what she's studying.
I'll ask her if she ever goes on a holiday.
Yeah.
Is it true that you never take holidays?
Mm.
Where the fuck did you hear that? Roger
I don't know.
Moore.
Yeah.
She doesn't take that many holidays.
Yeah.
Who would you want to do the next Bond theme?
Lana Del Rey, of course.
Okay.
Probably the. I think the Killers would be cool.
I'm joking about
Yeah.
that because I know you're not the biggest fan, Jake.
Just, you know,
Yeah.
just no Wes Anderson.
Goof.
I think Muse would be great.
Yeah. They have a pseudo Bond theme
Mm-hmm.
on.
And then I remember they were like, "Yeah, it's kind of we're kind of trying out for it." And then they heard the Adele song, and they're like, "Well, guess we didn't make it." Yeah, the opening track off of The Second Law.
I don't know if it's official yet, but the producers were eyeing Sam Smith.
I liked his vocals in that Latch song. The song Latch. Excuse me. Just get Daft Punk to do it.
Yeah.
Just have Daft Punk be James and Bond, and just go around and silently beat up bad guys.
Open, here I go. He's still been listening to like the same classical music. He's just like, I never leave this place.
Yeah. I'm eating the same crab legs.
Yeah.
They're gross. Yeah. Tiger Shark was like, done with that. It's got webbed hands. I don't know if they ever make a point of that, but he does.
Oh, but you can. Oh, but you will. Second reference to that line in this movie.
Yeah.
But, webbed hands.
Instead of 5 chubby digits.
That was the most intimidating hand cross you'll ever see in a movie. You thought I'm handsome? Call me handsome.
I never take a vacation.
Something about watching Roger Moore walk downstairs one at a time. He kind of has a curious gait. I don't know why. I'm just kind of like looking at that. I was like,
After that last staircase where he was like skipping down it. So, just to confirm, Jen says, that marine biologists don't really take vacations. Mostly because, most of the places that you can vacation are pretty beachy anyway.
so wait. Was the only reason that he let them visit was just to like talk to him?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. There's like no like business meeting or anything. It's just like, hey, can you tell me what kind of fish that is? Cool. Get the
Right.
fuck out of here.
Bye.
You know the Pinewood Studios where they've filmed every subsequent Bond film and of course a lot of other big Hollywood productions
Mm-hmm.
was constructed specifically for this.
Yep.
It's burned down like twice at
Yeah.
least since.
It's like a tinfoil couch. One for me, and one for the fish. Look at that sexy car. Vroom vroom. Roger Moore is pretty much every kind of vehicle chase you can imagine throughout his tenure as Bond. So much so that one of his cars is a, freaking submarine and a car.
He's got the mini jet and Octopussy.
Yep. Got the, the boat in Live and Let Die and was it For Your Eyes Only with the skis?
And this film.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I didn't know it was going to be feathers.
Yeah.
No.
My weakness.
I regret nothing.
Oh, let's laugh at a dead man.
Clud. Just
Yeah.
splat.
Splat. Yeah, I shot him.
Just another pleasant day in God's country.
Yeah.
Ah. Hey, you might want to get that looked at.
Yeah. Sorry about. Never mind. Almost on cue.
Apparently somebody bought like a surviving model of like a original 1977 like Lotus with the intent to retrofit it so it could actually go underwater.
To a submarine.
Yeah. I don't know how much that would fucking cost.
I told you there's someone on eBay who was selling, not a model of that car for like $25,000, and they had to put in it like the notes.
And
It
the
does
item
not turn into a
description.
submarine.
Yeah, don't drive this.
Yeah, into water, like this. See your Aston Martin do this. Everyone in the theater rushed to buy a Lotus after this.
Like, oh god, they go underwater? These must be. And also it was the most like cost like
Well, people could actually buy that.
yeah,
You know what I
Aston
mean?
Martins are like I don't know how much they were in the 60s, but they're like $350,000 now.
Although I feel like Lotuses are pretty high-end cars now.
Yeah.
They also look nothing like that nowadays.
Yeah.
Bummer. Especially not like that.
I hated Dr. Phibes.
Yeah.
Pilots away.
Yeah, so cool.
Let's fuck.
Let's just fuck with all these animals. I'm 97% water.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Doom.
Yeah.
If you're ever looking for the Bond disco theme, it's called, from this film, it's called Bond 77.
Nice. Oh, there you go.
Chart topper. Probably not, but it was cool.
Probably a bit of a hit back in the day, I'm assuming.
And they include both like the ski car chase stuff and the underwater stuff. Not this, but here. I feel like disco is one of those things like really big in the end of the 70s, and as soon as it turned like to 1980, they were just like, fuck you.
Well, they had the whole, like, disco sucks.
Yeah.
Woo, just missed.
Bubbles.
Red, just to let you know.
Yeah, he did. He did. I've been waiting.
Thank God. I thought I'd never get out of there.
Yeah. Runs him over.
Give me a little more red
Yeah.
there, just to be sure.
These bad guys will bleed for anything.
That would freak me out, being in that little thing.
Yeah.
I say that, but I would love to be in the Lotus submarine.
Yeah. You don't have to wear a scuba suit in the Lotus.
That's true. And, it's a freaking car.
They'll never see us now.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Go right into it.
Yeah. Charlize Theron, that. Prometheus style. Hockey. I mean, those guys were just useless.
That's why I panicked when we drove into the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Windshield wiper on.
That's the Italian second unit. Like, for all the Italian shoot, he was like one of the second unit directors. And for some reason, they're just like, let's have him see James Bond and just always like think it's because of the alcohol.
Yeah. That classic Bond.
Because he shows up in the next two Bond movies doing basically the same thing. Someone's at the door.
Yeah.
He's so perturbed by it. He's just like, the fuck?
Of all the things he's seen. Yes. He's
Slam.
He's so bummed. Gonna read this
Yeah. Just
on a
gonna
holiday.
Just gonna go hook up with like Sean Connery instead, like in 6 years.
Yeah.
It's quite alright. I'm just working on my Sudoku.
It's one of those like trick cigarettes, and he lights it and it explodes. Yeah, this is about after the time I shot your boyfriend in the chest with a flare. He died horribly. If he had a gaping hole in his chest, maybe. I mean, to be fair, there's like no way he'd be able to recognize that man, because he was like on a ski
Yeah, it couldn't be like I killed Discount Adam West.
with like freaking freaking fucking goggles and a beanie on. That was a serious turn he just did.
I feel like he could have done serious, but once he found his niche, you know, he was just like, fuck, I'm getting paid millions to do this.
Yeah, why not? Let's do this for 7 Bond films.
Yeah, and like it's not a far cry from like Simon Templar or his role on The Persuaders, which he did between The Saint and Bond, or his role on Boat Trip in the 90s,
Oh, yeah.
where he seductively eats a piece of sausage.
Not enough room in the
Heyo.
helicopter.
Is that never mind.
You ever been in a submarine?
Yes, actually, yeah. They used to have one at like Baltimore Harbor.
Yeah. I was able to have lunch on one once.
Ever been in a helicopter?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fun.
Ever seen a grown man naked?
Do you like gladiator pictures? Ever been in a Turkish prison? Oh, I couldn't tell by your facial features that she was a woman. I don't actually. I can't hear what you're saying. I've got a massive boner right now.
That affects my hearing.
All the blood flow. Sorry, sir. I'm just gonna have to go masturbate. Bye.
Most of the boobs we have are pictures here.
Yeah.
Liparus.
If Das Boot was abducted by the Liparus. Accidentally hits him. Sorry.
Yeah. Ah, fuck you. I remember my dad wanted Das Boot for Christmas one year. That's all he wanted. My mom wouldn't buy it for him because she goes, it's such a horrible movie. This is when Titanic was big, coming out of VHS. And she goes, they all die in the end of that movie, Greg. And he goes, you love Titanic and they all die in the end of Titanic too. So eventually I bought it for him. Director's cut. Like, it was like 4 hours long.
I've only seen it in its entirety once.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really great movie and really intense, but it's, you know, you got to set aside a good chunk of your day to watch that one all the way through. Also, remember in the beginning of that movie, all the officers are pissing on the car? It's kind of weird.
Remember that one scene where the older sailor hits on the younger sailor?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a super depressing movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you get all the way to the end, and they all just get gunned down. You just feel depleted.
That guy right there was just like, what's going
Yeah,
on?
it's my first day on the fucking job, man. Submarine's farting.
The captain of the American sub is in Diamonds Are Forever. He's one of Willard Wyatt's people.
That movie.
Yeah, I know you in that movie, man. I know it's your least favorite of the Bond. Doesn't this thing have sonar? Can't you tell?
Deliberus. One of us. Eh. Well, it's happening, dude.
If only we could move faster.
Yeah. How many times are submarines the thing in a Bond movie? I feel like at least 2 times in Brosnan's case, they're big time.
I'm counting 4.
4. Submarines are cool.
Yep. The entire reason they built Pinewood to build something big enough to have 3 scale full like size appropriate submarines.
There it is.
Red Moore.
Classic commando the commander outfit. Well, I mean, I guess they're all the same outfit, but just he's in the classic uniform.
Royal Navy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we never see the Soviet sailors again unless they're like silently helping out the Americans and the Brits.
The Guardian Angels. Yeah, I mean, that's big time studio.
It's that's the scientist from Diamonds Are Forever that Sean Connery sneaks in his van in the movie.
Well, there's dying.
Oh, he's the captain, but he has Bond as permit. Like, what would you do, Bond?
You're just a commander, but in a foreign navy. But what would you do?
Yeah. If so, what's he making?
After taxes.
This is my sub. Ooh.
I'll put a baseball cap on. Nobody will know you're a woman.
It worked earlier on. Nobody could tell. I wonder why they picked orange. Must have been a discount sale of fabric.
Yeah, I don't see orange being a big seller. They probably could have saved on.
Well, they're all like actual like inmates of prisons and stuff.
They just repurposed. Gave them some stylish berets, and no one would notice.
That guy just happened to like unfoil their plan by being a dick and knocking the hat off someone's head.
Yeah, just like, gotta get the
Oh shit! Hey boss, I did good.
Do I get that raise, boss? Do I get that raise? Do I get that vacation?
You get dead.
Hello. Hey, guys.
I mean, that's kind of also the plot line to Terminator.
And Moonraker. Except the difference is, instead of creating in Moonraker it's a space dynasty, here it's like an underwater dynasty.
Hmm. But fish are not corrupt.
It's the only Bond movie where Aquaman shows up to save the day. Spoiler.
Which word? You said like 3.
Farewell.
Ah.
Fuck this car.
Cruising along with the top down.
Like a bitch in a pimp.
Nice.
There it is. Woo! Miniatures like the Thunderbirds.
They just crash, explode.
Yeah.
Well, those were real.
Yeah, totally.
Fuck yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Everyone's just kind of watching.
2 birds with 1 stone, bitch. And then fuck your mother. Still going. Still going
It's
strong.
like a fucking slinky.
Yeah.
And they cut back to him again.
Yeah.
And the end credit scene.
Yeah. Still rolling.
Nick Fury is there at the bottom of the stairs. It's a small world after all. It's a small world. Oh.
Oh, we're stopping here? Oh.
So did we already pass that stunt that you were talking about that you said?
Not yet.
No, okay. Reel and kill.
Oh, about to kick ass now, boys.
I love how poorly defended their armory is.
Yeah.
That the cook is like, "Oh boy, I gotta
Yeah.
fight.
God, you think it's shore leave?
Where's the women? Where's the women?" Should we seal off the armory? No.
Seal off the armory in our moment of triumph.
We just need one inept guard. Oh God.
Oh, there's another one down there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh shit! They don't even have safeties on these things. Awesome.
They're all fully loaded.
I choose you.
Could have been one of the most ridiculous deaths I've ever seen.
You haven't watched License to Kill yet?
That's right. Or Live and Let Die.
These are both true statements.
Fuck you.
Thanks, bud.
I didn't even ask for that.
I didn't even know that ammo was there.
Yeah.
If there's anything I learned from Goldeneye, it's stay away from the barrels.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like any video game has taught me that.
Yeah. That was I think for me, that was the first one.
Definitely.
Well, actually, yeah, no. Barrels usually indicate, like, you know, some sort of item that you need.
Well, like, certainly with Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
The ship just sinks. Everybody dies.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
For Asgard! Oh no, he pulled the pin. Oh, he did.
Lefty, yeah.
That's why he's on the bad guy's side.
Fuck yourself.
Well, shit. I never liked them
Yeah.
anyway.
This is the...
It's my time to shine.
That's right. He won a Facebook contest to get in this movie.
Kind of like, if you think about it, the only choice also has the main bad guys behind, like, a shuttered thing.
Yeah.
So, like, Lewis Gilbert was like, we'll just take the things that worked.
Yeah. No, thank you. I'm
Just
a
with your
loser.
mother.
Get shut of the webbed hands.
It's like the worst tie ever.
Is that Mel Brooks? No idea.
It's like Operation. Accidentally touches it, blows up, credits.
Yeah. James Bond will not return. Tie my shoe, Dick. It's like Walt Disney.
Hi, and welcome to the wonderful world of Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Today we'll be watching Swiss Family Robinson.
Followed by a nuclear explosion and killing many people.
I bet you he's not even a boat captain. He just wears that hat for the attention.
Like he got it at some sort of like party.
Yeah. Like he's fucking Hugh Hefner. Who probably is a boat captain. Just never leaves his house.
I can do this job a lot easier if you're not hovering over my shoulder.
Micromanager. So you know it's a Bond movie with this.
Just in case you forgot.
I mean, has been going on for a really long time. You might have forgotten, but he just unplugs the speakers. Well, shit.
What am I standing over? Please be water. It's not water. God damn it.
The monorail stopped running 5 minutes ago. You're stuck here till tomorrow.
Land. Get out of here. Kind of dead guy.
James Bond leading from the front. Let's Commander Bond, you.
Zoom in on a nondescript part of the Atlantic Ocean.
The two submarines destroying each other.
It was a globe.
With the two submarines, they were going to destroy each other. Dear diary.
Ding, 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 ding.
Today I banged a girl, and it was sweet.
Man, look at that high-resolution screen.
I hate this fucking Commodore 64 shit.
Yeah, quit shouting, dick.
Oh! It's the two submarines that are going to destroy the world.
You know? They've been there. You son of a bitch.
James, you genius.
Man, you thought those other uniforms were stupid. Orange is the new black. Tom York from Radiohead.
Good thing we're mindless drones who never question our orders.
If I knew coordinates better, I could have sworn they'd be on the other side of the ocean.
Bless you.
Same thing in reverse. Worst game of Battleship ever.
But highest stakes.
Roger Moore's serious face.
Intense. Let's kiss. Just kidding. He's almost loving it.
Yeah, he's like, I get to set off 2 nuclear explosions at once.
Yeah.
I still got to ruin ecosystems.
Stromberg loves the oceans. I just got to nuke it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I accidentally nuked us.
Yeah.
Oh, who would have thought all that damage we did inside this ship would actually have, repercussions?
You're just screaming. Ah.
Guy just dove into the water from the sub. What an idiot.
Just fuck it.
The 3 crews are constantly stepping over each other because they all think it's their submarine.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, God. Submarines are already close enough quarters as it is.
Again, we never really see the Soviet, unless they're just like quiet. They're just like, we're just going to...
Yeah, they don't scream and yell.
Yeah, or maybe they got gassed in their sub.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe they did not open the hatches.
And they're just like, fuck it.
Oh, yeah.
I already said that.
You know, for a bunch of sailors, I do sense a huge lack of yo-hos. If there's anything I learned from Batman 66,
Yeah.
it's that sailors always yell yo-ho.
That's like all they yell.
Yeah. Yo-ho.
That's winding the clocks back a bit.
I mean, just slightly further than Batman 89 references.
Yeah. We've done the first 3 we've done Returns, 89 and 66.
I mean, we've done all of them.
Well, I mean, like, reference-wise here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If we can get all of them by the end of this movie.
I was trying to save the ship.
Don't force it, Jake. Just let it happen naturally.
That was about as natural as it gets.
All
For
good
that one.
drive-through?
Yeah, there you go.
It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Yeah, job well done. We killed like 100 guys back there.
Don't know what we just did, but we blew up a lot of shit. And the fire rises.
You must become more than a man in the mind of your opponent.
So now just Mask the Phantasm?
Did we do Batman and Robin yet?
Oh, did we? Holy Rusted Metal
I
Batman.
just fart really loud.
Still
into-
forever.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Just fart really loud on the microphone. Then
Yeah.
yeah. Batman and Robin.
I hate it when people talk during the movie.
Yeah. There you go. It's probably the most appropriate one.
But not because it's a commentary.
I feel like we should end each commentary with that.
Yeah.
Like if we ever got a theme song, that would be part of it.
It's the final line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Ugh. Did you get that one as a kid, Sam?
Not as a kid, no.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it was meant to be a sexual double entendre anyway.
So that stunt's coming up, Chris.
Ooh.
He said farewell had a sense of finality to it. So, fuck you. Tiger Shark, what's a... This is a sexy theme for the Tiger Shark to show up. There it
I
is
mean-
again. Yeah.
If you know anything about tiger sharks,
Delete anything.
hence sexy theme. Whoa!
Yeah, I saw the beginning of this movie. Got Tabasco sauce there.
I was
love that.
about to reference that too. Turned away from the camera so they didn't have to pay for it.
There you go. One of my favorite just series of scenes.
A ridiculously long barrel.
This is the stunt right here. Blew an extra hole in his backside. Let's just put it that way.
Well, there goes both of his balls.
Bummer is the line was supposed to, he was going to say bullseye. And, of course, he doesn't say that. And I remember Roger Moore had a Q&A on Twitter once. I sent him a thing, and I was like, "Yeah, how bummed are you that you didn't get to say bullseye? That's such a great line." He wrote back, "Do you write scripts?" I don't, but that was a great line, Roger Moore. You should have. Wish you would have kept it in. Josh just got done taking a massive shit.
Don't shoot him in the teeth.
He's aiming for his balls.
It was a bad shot.
Hey, you know.
Ooh.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be you.
Definitely a bad shot.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or do you see a lot of like Roger Moore in Pierce Brosnan? Like, no,
Not really.
I feel like they have like similar, like they make similar faces at the very
They have
least. You know,
a little bit of like the kind of like tongue and like their self-awareness a little bit.
especially as Brosnan goes on.
well,
Yeah.
like I'm not saying like in their acting, but like actually like I don't know. I pick up on weird things with facial structure, and apparently like whenever I'm like, oh, these people look like they could be related. Like
Balls.
a lot of people don't see that, so maybe I'm just being crazy. But like I don't know. They look somewhat similar to me. Maybe it's just because they're both playing the same character, but I don't know. I mean, I don't see it with the other actors that I've seen play Bond.
Give her some face smushed action. There it is.
He was originally supposed to die in this sequence, but test audiences loved him. And
Like
so-
Sheriff Pepper.
Yeah, yeah. And so the difference is he's actually a decent character.
Yeah. One that we would want to see again.
Yeah.
I'm Jaws, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're not even a great white.
Yeah.
I don't know
So-
what. Yeah.
Are they just gonna cut the scene before he would have died, or do they actually show him?
They add
Oh.
a
No, they show him.
Oh, there's the red.
yeah.
Yeah.
Grrr.
Digging in.
Yeah. Letting them have it.
Giving him what for?
Get the fuck off me. I made a terrible
Yeah.
mistake.
We're bros. I thought we were bros.
I was just going to compliment you on your teeth.
Yeah.
I loved your episode of The Twilight Zone.
I do love that episode of The Twilight Zone. I have his action figure somewhere around here.
I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah.
Still no luck finding it?
No.
Bummer.
Or well, maybe. I'll look after the movie's over.
That was sweet.
I love Shark.
He really looks like he's really forcing it whenever like you see his jaws.
Yeah, apparently it hurt. Like
Yeah.
some shit.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what it is more so than anything else. But it definitely looks like he's like unnecessarily like, look, I have metal teeth.
I feel like he would be like, you know, if you ever had braces, whenever they would tighten them,
Mm-hmm.
like that couple of days after where your
Yeah.
teeth just really hurt because they're all
Mhm.
being, you know, pushed and
yeah.
prodded and stuff. I feel like that's got to be
Mhm.
like an extreme
And
sense
it
of that.
also looks like it goes up above
Into
his
his
gum
gums,
line.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys have braces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay. I actually have a permanent retainer, much like your sister. I don't know if you do too. Yeah. It's like the hip thing. Well, I think the hip thing is Invisalign, but like our generation, the hip thing was to put in that permanent retainer.
Cemented into my
Yeah.
jaw.
Yeah.
So much so that it closed the gap in my teeth, and I was supposed to wear a retainer, and then I stopped, and it did close the gap in my teeth for a while. And there's one picture of me without like I don't have a huge gap, but like there's a gap there. And
Mm-hmm.
they picked the right door to go in.
Oh,
His
the
personal,
honeymoon suite.
basically.
It's pretty awesome.
He's got a private escape pod for sex.
Sex pod.
This thing always kind of reminded me of the robot in Empire Strikes Back. Dagobah.
Oh, the probe droid?
Dagobah system. Yeah.
That's not what he's saying.
Dagobah.
It's not what he's saying at all.
Dagobah system.
It's an imperial code. It's not words.
Yeah, I know.
But I agree. It does have a similar design. Let me crack this over your skull. Really? Boobs.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the scene they added in after.
Mm. Actually, we have a satellite feed.
It would be so awkward to work with Bond. You just always see him have sex.
And thus ended the Cold War.
Somebody find me the gay sailor version of this song immediately.
That's where the Russian Russian sailors went. They went to go practice the song.
Yeah, that's I would say very, if not the best Roger Moore Bond film, very damn close.
Mhm.
Certainly, I think the best Bond film from the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, For Eyes Only is the other one in question that's extremely close.
Yeah. For me it's always between those two. In the Egyptian folklore group. Yeah. So, Spy Who Loved Me. Was this the first time you saw this flick?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought it was really long.
Okay.
I mean, like, then again, most of my issues with the Bond movies that I've seen is that I feel like they're longer than they need to be.
Sure.
And, like, that's one of the things that has kept me from being enthusiastic about watching Bond movies in general. Like, most of them, I feel like they go on for half to almost a full hour longer than they need to, just because a lot of times it feels like nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I will say the parts where stuff was happening, it was exciting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've only seen
I've seen
one Roger Moore film?
This and Octopussy.
Yeah.
And I will say that this was better. I enjoyed this more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Because of the popularity of Star Wars, which came out the same year as Spy Who Loved Me, next Bond film was actually Moonraker.
They lied.
After that, they stopped saying the movie titles. They're just like, he'll be back.
You will return.
But, yeah. So that's The Spy Who Loved Me. And next week we'll go on to Jake's favorite Bond, Timothy Dalton.
That's right.
Also one of my sister's favorites now I think about it. So, yeah.
Oddly enough, Timothy Dalton has always been kind of like in my mind. Like, even though I've never seen any Timothy Dalton Bond movies, like, I've always been like, I bet he's a great Bond, just because of like the other things that I've seen him in. I'm like, he's very Bondy, like I loved him in Hot Fuzz, and I loved him in Flash Gordon. Those are the only things that I can think of right now. That
Rocketeer.
Oh yeah, God, I always forget that he's in Rocketeer. But yeah, like he seems like he would be a great Bond.
So you've never seen him without facial hair in a movie, then?
No,
what's funny?
I mentioned that to you.
Yeah.
I think the other day that, like, I've never seen Timothy Dalton without a mustache. So like it weirds me out to think that he doesn't. Like, Bond doesn't have facial hair.
Yeah.
So like it weirds me out to think.
I almost made my profile picture Timothy Dalton. I was like, I'm just gonna leave it until Spectre comes out. But I was like, I want Chris to see him on the screen without facial hair for the first time, and not be their profile picture.
Yeah, thank you. I've been resisting, watching any since the DVDs are being left here. I've been resisting the urge to watch, ahead.
But yeah, so we'll be back next week with another with a Timothy Dalton Bond. 50-50 chance on what it could be.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next week.
See you.
Good night.